I was always taught, like, man, it's only one you. It's only
Mm-hmm.
one version of Buddy. There's only one version of Travis.
Yep.
So you might as well embrace that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
can't nobody say there's another version of you. So I feel like that's just cool in itself.
Welcome to another episode of the True Authentics Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremiah Foster, and today is a very special episode with a special guest. Like I said in my previous episode, all my guests are special because in this season alone, I just want to bring in the true authenticity and just the living testimonies that have been walking in their own path and been living true authentically to themselves. And today, I have Travis here. As you can tell, I got that shit on. It's that Stella. This is what he got. So let's just go ahead and dive into it. I want to talk about staying in your own lane. And previously in my season 1, I had a stay in your own lane episode, but I feel like it wasn't giving. I need an actual living testimony to actually for people to see how to actually be. What's the result of being in your own lane? And what basically made you start Stella? What made you say, okay, let me do my own thing in such a saturated clothing line?
Yeah. So to take it, can you hear me? Right there?
Yeah.
All right, but so like to take it back, man. Stella, aside from meaning Starlight, and then that being like my grandmother's name, we like my clique and who I'm cool with, like just my surroundings. We always like to just get fly and like just kind of do our own thing, and not just with clothes, but like how we carry ourselves.
Okay.
So, I mean, that can go from how people see you, how you treat other people. We just always believe in what we believe in. So I kind of feel like that carries on to the clothes. We don't follow trends. We don't try to be like anybody. And I feel like that shows out in how we present Stella, if that makes sense.
Yes,
So,
really does. I feel like it kind of, just like True Authentics,
mm-hmm.
it just matters about staying true to your true values, no matter like what anybody's wearing or about what anybody says. It's just as long as you got that shit on, this is what we like. Like we Stella, we that star.
Right.
So I get that.
Right.
And I like that. So
Yeah.
what challenges did you face when starting Stella when it comes to just starting a brand? You know how society now, there's a expectation on brands and what's trending and what's not. What
Right.
challenges did you face when you started Stella and just the designs and the creativity?
Yeah, so I probably started the thought of Stella while I was in undergrad at George Mason. So, I mean, I would sketch designs and, kind of just brainstorm. But I would say the challenge was honestly just the financial capital, like investing real money into it. When I was in college, I was cutting hair, so that was good. Like, I had a whole run with cutting hair. But then my senior year, I kind of had to slow down. It was affecting my academics. So, for people who don't know, this get a clothing brand started or any brand start, you need money for that just initial investment. So that would, I would say, kind of put a hold on it, the process. But I feel like it helped me too because I was able to really plan and strategize how I was gonna roll out Stella when I had the money. You know what I'm saying? So it gave me more time to design, it gave me more time to study. I feel like I did a lot of studying with Stella, so I would study people in, clothing lanes, just other businesses, creators, and just how they started off their business, and they always treated it like a baby. So I would just study people. Yeah, like,
It's funny you say that because I treat my business like it's a baby.
It's like you're grooming it, like you want it to grow into the best, adult in a sense that it can be. You're just taking care of it.
To where it can take care of itself.
Right. So, I feel like studying and strategizing kind of gave me I don't know, like, it just made it made clear.
No,
like
I would
sense
say
for me.
to be a testimony to what you're saying. I remember just watched you come up with Stella at first, and then as you said, out of nowhere, I'm just seeing you like clothing line, boom, like drop it. Then you got an event, boom, right there the next day, like next week, boom, boom. So it's like you said, you had time to study while you were patiently waiting and doing the things that you needed to be done in order to do what you're doing. You also had the time to playing along. So that's why I talked about my season ones as well. It's like you want to be in a position, but you're not there yet. So spend that time doing the things that you need to be doing. So when you are in that position, you have the best opportunity that can present itself.
Right.
And with that being said, speaking of opportunities, what opportunity you would say highlighted your personal journey in life when it comes to you just being yourself, you being authentic, you just being your own lane? And what I mean by that is, for me, for example, I would say, since I've been doing this, I had the opportunity to have a podcast. Random people just come up to me, ask me, like, tell me like I'm doing a good job. Yeah. Even different job opportunities, things like that. Yeah. So when it comes to opportunities and you just being Stella, what's the key highlight that you said? What made your success?
Like, I see what you're saying. I feel like what I'm starting to realize now, like just doing little events and, doing the clothing, they're seeing the product, but they're kind of starting to see who I am as a person. And I've always been like a type of guy, like, you know me because you're around me. But, I mean, if you don't know who Travis is, then you just probably wouldn't. I'm not going to tell you who I am or, showcase who I am. But doing these events and, like, doing stuff, I feel like people are starting to really get a grasp of who Travis is as a man, as a creator, or as a however. So I feel like, that's more rewarding than just a sale or or a pat on the back, but them really getting to see who I am.
Yeah, I feel like my bad.
Go ahead.
I feel like as a brand owner, like you said, personal identity is the most important identity when it comes to brand. Like, nobody's gonna buy from you if you're like piece of shit. To be honest, nobody's gonna buy from you. So when people do get to know you, understand Stella, and they're like, okay, I want to see who made Stella. Then they get to know Travis, and they get to know just more about why you started the brand. But like you said, who you are as a person, how dope you are, how cool you are. A lot of people just buy things because of the person who's owning the brand, not also what the brand represents, but the person owning the brand and the type of energy that person carries. So I love that a lot. I want to say, who encouraged you? Who inspired you for Stella? Like, I know you talked about your grandmother. If you want to go deep into that as well, I would like to hear that as well. Okay. But I really want to know who really encouraged you, inspired you to be like, okay, I am going to be myself. I am going to start this brand, and I'm not going to care what anybody says. I'm going to have my own line. I have my own clothing for those who feel just the same way as I do. Put that shit on, feel like a star, feel that aura. What made you, get to that point?
That's a good question. I feel like, I have a lot of people who inspire me, but I always talk to, like, my bros all the time, and I tell them, like, man, I'm just so thankful that I was raised the way I was. Because, like, I was always taught, like, man, it's only one you. It's only one version of Buddy. There's only one version of Travis. Yep. So you might as well embrace that. Like, can't nobody say there's another version of you. So I feel like that's just cool in itself, like, to be able to have, like, it's only one version. So why not just take full, power of that and just really try to seize the moment to be the best version of you. But to answer your question, like, who really influenced me, I'd say, of course, Grandma. She influenced the brand just because of the name. Well, let me not say the brand, but I wanted to create a clothing line. And when I was thinking of a name for the brand, I was like, man, like, a Stella just sounds, like, elegant. And then it has a meaning behind it. And it rolls off the tongue. It's easy to say. And it's marketable. So I wouldn't say Grandma is the reason I started the brand. But when I decided to put her name onto the brand, it just made it that much more important to keep it going. Okay. So I kind of got like a spark of inspiration and motivation when I, like, man, I'm going to really name this brand after my grandma. Like, it just got deep like that quick. I'm like, bro, I just can't, like, not keep going with it.
I feel like when you tag something with the emotion in it, it's the best motivation, especially for brands. It's like that emotion sells more than anything. So I like that.
There's another person that inspires me, Clint Cortez. He's a brand owner in London.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah. But the way he rolls out his clothing and the way he brings the community together is something that I'm trying to do in my own lane and bring that to Hampton.
You know, it's crazy. You're like bringing everything in circle that I'm about to ask. That's so funny. Yeah. So when it comes to the community and like consistency, like you just said, like even I struggle. Like, well, I'm just kind of starting, but I just need, I guess, would say guidance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to do a pop-up shop like next year or in the beginning, stuff
Be
like
dope.
that. But
Yeah.
what keeps you consistent in doing events and things of that nature, and for those to see you as not only as Stella but as Travis?
What keeps me like
Consistent,
consistent with that?
Mhm.
Man, just trying to get more people to know about it. Honestly, like just looking forward to the future. Just knowing that not a lot of people around here
Mhm.
know about it, but there's just always so much more. Like they say, like when you get a Maybach or a Lamborghini, now the next level is gonna be I want a private jet.
Mhm.
And then after that, it's gonna be I want 3 private jets. But I'm at the stage where I'm still trying to just lock down Hampton,
Mhm.
you know, and then I mean that's enough hunger and motivation for me to be like, man, like I can't just settle. Like
Mhm.
I feel like I didn't do anything yet, honestly. So I
And that's
just
humbling.
yeah, that just keeps me going. Like just knowing there's so much more to strive for, and it's fun. It doesn't feel like work. Like those events
Mhm.
that you see me at, and like creating clothes, and like seeing people in clothing, and on top of it being a product that I made, seeing people in a clothing that has my grandmother's name on it, that's like just crazy to me,
Knowing
man.
what it means to them
That's
as
crazy.
well.
Like seeing you in that, like it's crazy. Like knowing that same crew neck came from like a sketch in a notebook.
For real?
Yeah, it came from I sketched that crew neck
Yeah.
in a notebook, and then I put it on the computer.
Mhm.
Then I figured out I needed to like measure like specific crew necks and the length of the sleeve. So not to go too deep, but another side story, bro. I would go to Nordstrom
Mhm.
and I would go to the men's section and I would grab like crew necks that I like the feel and the fit of it. And I'd try on like 10 different crew necks,
Yeah.
and I'd have my tape measure in my pocket and measure like every single crew neck. I would measure like the collar. I would measure like the embroidery across the chest. I would measure like just like the cuffs, like between this and this, like
Oh, so you
everything, bro.
Detail.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
very meticulous, like.
I love that.
But it didn't feel like work.
Mm.
It just felt like, man, this is what I'm supposed to do.
It's your passion.
Yeah, like my baby. I feel like I'm just taking care of my baby. Like take care of my.
That's
baby.
what's up, bro. So, what if you had any advice for any listeners? What advice would you give for those who struggle with just finding a lane? It doesn't have to be a business. It could be a sport. It could be a particular business. It could be just going to a job. But when it comes to just finding a lane that aligns with their true values, what advice would you give for them?
I would say, I mean, if you're not comfortable doing it, like, there's so many cool things in the world you can do just because other people made it cool. But what works for somebody else may not work for you. And usually when you try to copy a trend or copy what somebody else is doing, you're going to end up falling off because it's not true to what you really want to do. And you might as well do what you want to do, because if you're doing something good, they're going to have something to say. If you're doing something bad, they definitely going to have something to say. So it's like you really can't lose. So just, I would say, like, just do, I mean, not to sound cliche, but really just do what you want. Like, we're not on earth that long, man.
Yeah.
So
It's not cliche.
Yeah, like, we're not on earth that long. So, I mean, just do what makes you happy, like, really gives you a true peace of mind, whether if it's cutting grass or, giving back, or, I don't know, like, just cleaning up seashells on the beach. It don't matter. Like, if it makes you happy, man, do it. And I feel like if you stay true to a passion, the money gonna come. So I feel like that's just like with the law of attraction, man. If you're around people who's doing things that you like to do, if you have a seashell collecting group at the beach and you with 5 other people that's doing it, man, y'all probably all gonna succeed together because y'all seeing each other win and y'all are making each other happy. The money's gonna come. So yeah, man, I would do you.
Okay.
And unapologetically, yeah, just do
unapologetically be you and
Yeah.
do you. With that being said, with that, Travis, I really appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
I would say for my advice that I gained from Travis, from just staring at him, just hearing him talk, I would really say, just like you said, just do you, just be you. Just say, I'm gonna stay in the community, I'm gonna be myself and get myself involved in the community. I really appreciate you being here. I remember when we were just young. I know you since like middle school, like eating days and stuff like that. So I love seeing people grow, especially after school. I love just seeing people grow and thrive and just do what they want to do. And that's why you're here today, because you really stand out on just living your authentic life and just being unapologetically you, and you're a living testimony of the success that you don't even claim is they even finished yet or even done yet. It's still on along. So I really appreciate you for being here. That being said, though, I'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir.